Hello, welcome to another file from the Officia Tempere for Out of the Basement. Today I'm going to talk about two things, Slann and the Dwarfs or Squats. Now, I've played the original Warhammer Fantasy game for quite a long time, ran a campaign and everything, and the Slann were always one of those interesting old races they had that had the gateways in the North Poles, basically, even though the North one was more like a chaos warp point and the South was not really sure. And Dwarves were in there, Dwarves, Elves, of course, in the Fantasy one. And then in Warhammer 40k, which sort of tried for a while, was linking Warhammer Fantasy to Warhammer 40k, basically saying the Warhammer 40 Fantasy world eventually evolved and became part of the Warhammer 40k universe. I mean, I know this has been sort of retconned here and there, but that was the first idea, was Warhammer 40k universe. Terra was from the Warhammer Fantasy one. So the Slann exists in Warhammer Fantasy big time. Like, well, you didn't actually see them too much. They were sort of at this time it's mostly degenerative down from what they used to be, although their technology and stuff was still around. I actually made a Slann gun, which was really cool. It absorbed magic and gave it power, so because it's based off the idea that the Slann were really great techno-mage sort of idea. So yeah, I had this gun that if you shot spells at it, it absorbed the spell power, turned it into energy to shoot with. And then unfortunately it fell in the hands of one of my players through mishaps, and then he had a Slann gun, which made a lot of different modules interesting, as he didn't care about being shot at by spells. Anyways, going back, the Dwarves, however, the Elves still kept around, and the Elves actually became, a race in Warhammer 40k. The Dwarves didn't. The Dwarves were sort of written out and determined to be the Squats, which was sort of an abhuman degenerate, ones who lived in high gravity and either evolved that way or, like the Ogren, were manipulated to be more shorter, stuntier, stuff like that. Hence the stunties, the Squats. But the Dwarves themselves, as a race, no longer existed. They kept the Elves and the Orcs, but Dwarves, I found, got the short. Well, sorry, no pun meant, but the short staff of the stick there. They got sort of written out completely as a separate race and were made more part, of the human sub-race, abhumans, as you will. And that I didn't feel like that worked too well. I mean, I'm not too sure why they did it. Maybe it would have been hard to explain how the Dwarves had their own star empire and that. Although, considering they're supposed to be master builders and could, design steam ships and everything back in Warhammer Fantasy, so easy enough to say, well, that was again an offshoot of the space dwarf race that landed and changed over time and lost their technology and are rebuilding. But no, they didn't. That's where I'm like, I want to see space dwarves, not Squats, not stunties, space dwarves. Guys that are high tech, building shit. I mean, fine, don't give them too much of an empire. Give them just a few planets in a system because they realize the warp's dangerous and they don't want to go outside their own area unless they find ways to get out there. But in the meantime, give them really great mining capability, technology, and all that, especially with weapons and armor and stuff. And that's how come they held off against the Orcs and all that sort of stuff. That'd be perfect. And now for the Slann in Warhammer 40k, again, they got... I was just reading up on them. They have a small little area up in the Galactic North that no one goes to, they don't talk to, and I don't know if Warhammer 40k is planning to do something with them in some of the upcoming codices and stuff for the Warhammer 40k game, or in Dark Heresy, the role-playing stuff. But I think they should do something with the Slann. I mean, if they're part of the old races, or one of the old races, or precursors to the Eldar, something, make them there. But I don't mind, especially with the Necrons waking up, maybe the Necrons are going to go after the Slann because the Slann are part of the old races that try to kill the Necrons. That'd be interesting, but get the Slann back out there. I mean, they keep introducing other type of factions, so why not bring the Slann back? You know, and they're the ones who helped design the webway, and now that Chaos is big, huge, you know, coming into the worlds or the galaxy, the massive rift across the, you know, the humanity Imperium and stuff like that, the Tau. Maybe it's time for the Slann to come back and say, hey guys, we can give you an edge. Just don't bother us. Let us live in peace. Or hell, even give it to the Tau, maybe. You know, think about the Tau and the Slann working together to design their own webway. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, humanity would hate, the Imperium would hate that so much. But you can sort of see it working with the Tau and the Slann deciding, no, we're going to work together for the greater good to design a webway, our own webway, to help us get through travels without having to travel the warp, especially now that the warp's dangerous again in the massive rift. Because the Tau Empire ain't going to stand if the Imperium goes. The Tau Empire is gone as soon as Chaos comes after it. Like, they will not survive. They're nowhere near the power base that the Imperium is. They survive because they're smaller and the Imperium has other stuff to worry about. But they would get crushed even by the Orcs or the Tyranids or the Chaos. So I think the Slann would be willing to help the Tau because they feel, hey, maybe there's some sort of kindred spirit. You're trying to do the best for everybody. So that's my theory. That's what I would like to see. The dwarves actually have a real race and not be an abhuman part of the human race. And 2, write something up for the Slann, coming up with it, and you know, like I said, I think working with the Tau would be a good idea. I might do some of the stuff in my couple of narrative campaigns I'm going to be running up and that. So let me know what you think, and thank you very much. Have a good one.
Who are we? The Astron Militarium is a name the High Lower Terror gave us, but that's a fancy name for the High Monkey Mucks, and us grunts don't use it, except me when talking to the upper officers. Who are we? We are the motor that holds the Imperium together. Yeah, the Navy might get us a system and planets. Yeah, the Space Marines, they're the Emperor's angels. But neither of them can hold the planets without us. Our blood and sacrifice bodies are what allow the Imperium to continue. Who are we? We're the Emperor's hammer. We are the Imperial Guard!